Like it doesn't matter. It's all about you today. So, and when you really focus on yourself that day, you realize like this is the work I've done. This is my journey. This is what I'm doing it for. And everything else kind of falls, you know, like unnecessary stuff, like overthinking just falls out, and then just you start really connecting to yourself a little more.
Welcome to the only place where real, raw, and vulnerable conversations happen with IFBB Bikini Pros to give you an inside look at their struggles, strategies, mindset, passions, and all of life beyond the stage. This podcast is made to inspire, motivate, and remind competitors and the average gym goer that even the most extreme lifestyles and elite athletes have their ups and downs. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm your host, Celeste Rains-Turk, and now it's time for the Confessions of a Bikini Pro podcast. Today, we are speaking with a multifaceted athlete and mother who is an ultra music festival dancer, a personal trainer, posing coach, kickboxing athlete, and she offers body and spirit transformation coaching to take women beyond the physical work and guide them to reconnecting with their inner fire and expressing their true essence with fierceness, freedom, and confidence. She started her journey as an overall winner at her first show in 2014 and then went on to compete in 5 regional shows and won her pro card at her third pro qualifier, the NPC Universe in Masters 35 and up, with a first place finish. Since then, she has placed 3rd and 6th in pro shows, which is so impressive. Welcome to the show, Olesya Sun. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here with you today. Thank you for inviting me.
You're so welcome. I'm happy that you're here too. And of course, before we get into everything that I want to talk with you about, I got to ask, is there anything you do, think about, or maybe even a ritual you have before your heel hits the stage?
Usually, before I walk into the stage, I just kind of like take a moment with myself, and I try to center myself and bring myself to my body and completely bring myself to the present moment. And I tell myself, okay, here you are. You're just gonna go and do your absolute best. This is your time. And I kind of talk to myself like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna do it. And then I go. But but I always take this moment to kind of bring all my energy to me. So when I go out to the stage, I bring that energy out. So that's kind of that's my go-to key for that entrance. And I always teach my girls that as soon as you step on stage, that's your first impression. That's what you're gonna bring. Like you either get noticed right away when you walk in, or you're just gonna get missed out. Because that entrance matters a lot. So that's why I
Yeah.
always put a lot of, attention there when I'm teaching my girls as well.
Definitely, because that first step onto the stage can either be like nervous and rocky, or it can be like, I'm here, I'm ready, look at me now.
And
And
it's always, you can see everything on stage,
you
absolutely
can.
everything, and they see it, your energy, how you're scared or you're worried or nervous, like everything is seen.
Absolutely. Like, honestly, the best feedback I've gotten, like this past weekend, actually, when I stepped on stage, one of my friends who's also an Olympia judge, he was in the crowd and he was like, you brought like this fire and this confidence on stage. And that to me was like the best feedback I could get, like to know
Yeah.
that I represented myself on that stage. And I think that comes from like what you said before, you've got to be grounded and intentional when you step on stage.
Yes, and the thing is, like all of us women competitors, we all have that fire within us. We already got to the stage, so
Mm,
we've done so much work. There is already confidence in you. There is already so much in you to be there. So but a lot of people, they're just afraid, like they don't really realize it. And I always like to remind it to all women out there, like you are that fire. Just don't hide that fire. Show it
Mm.
to the world. You're there on stage. This is your day. That's it, you know.
What do you find most other women struggle with when it actually comes to having that confidence on stage? Like, how do you bring that out of somebody who doesn't see it that way?
Um, well, usually they start comparing themselves, of course. And that's one of the things I always say, this is your journey. This is all about you. Everybody's out there came like and have their own story, why they there. Like it doesn't matter. It's all about you today. So and when you really focus on yourself that day, you realize like this is the work I've done. This is my journey. This is what I'm doing it for. And everything else kind of falls, you know, like unnecessary stuff, like overthinking just falls out and then just you start really connecting to yourself a little more.
Absolutely. And I think when it comes to mastering stage presence and really experiencing that connection to your true self, you need to, in some ways, know and believe that you deserve to be there, right? And like you have worked really hard, and this is a culmination of your hard work. What are some of the things that you do daily that you feel have been most influential in your mental, emotional, and physical well-being so that you can shine as a competitor?
I think it's that it's really like the daily practice, really connecting to your own self. Like just I said previously, um, if you stop focusing on that external things and just you just really bring, if you really start feeling yourself as yourself and really take your journey as your own journey, um, that really nothing like nothing else starts bothering you anymore. It does bring you confidence. It's because there is no more distractions in your mind. It's just like, especially with the prep, you just get things done, right? And that makes you feel good, and you focus
Mhm.
on just those things. Like, I just need to get my cardio done. I need to do my meal prep. I need to do my training. You just so focused on yourself, and that's it. But once you start worrying, like, oh my God, how are the competitors look, or like if someone's better, or if someone's have more experience. Like you really bring the distraction to yourself.
So,
So I think you should just focus on your daily tasks that you're required to do, and that kind of brings you more grounded to yourself.
did you yourself ever experience throughout your competition journey like this maybe external pull to compare yourself, and that's why you now promote what you do? Or have you always had this mentality?
Oh no, no, of course especially from the beginning of times, from back in 2014, I've had different experiences, of course, and I was just looking for my own way, how to do it better. It's And it's going to be different for everyone. It's going to be different for everyone. For some people, like backstage, for example, depending on your personality, it's going to be better to connect with other people and just get your mind off by talking, making new friends, like talking to girls, like sharing your Instagram, taking pictures. They will take your mind off from like comparing yourself and being worried. Like for me, I have to kind of stay connected with myself more and keep myself from distraction, from talks.
Hmm.
Just I have to like stay with me more. That's how I'm gonna bring my best presentation. So it's gonna depend on really on your personality.
Absolutely. And I think you bring up a good point. Like, it's what's going to work best for you. A lot of times I think it's easy to even compare in that sense. Like, oh, I'm not connecting with these other women backstage. Like, maybe I should be doing that. And then you start getting in your head. Or maybe you are connecting with other women backstage, and then you see a girl laying on the floor with her feet up and she's got headphones on, and you're like, maybe I should be in the zone. But at the end of the day, like what works best for you and is respectful of other people around you, I think is the
Yeah.
most important thing.
And you know how different preps. They just bring you different vibes. Like in some competitions, you actually can be talking to other girls, making connections, and just feeling good. But then other competition, you can really get in the zone and just stay there. So also depends on that day how you feel. So that's why it's so important to hear yourself, like
Mm.
what you really need to do your best today. So that's the connection within, like with yourself comes first. So you need to understand what you're calling today. Like, okay, do I need to stay in the zone to do my best today? Or like I should just,
Mm.
also like with when I went to the pro shows this for the first time last summer, I this was it was like a my first time competing again. So I could feel that. And of course, like those girls are pros. And I started catching myself, like, what do I feel backstage?
Mm.
Do I
Mhm.
compare myself because they're more experienced and I'm just like a new one here? And what I caught myself like by looking at the girls and I was like, I'm just gonna learn today.
Mhm.
Like because they just looked so perfect to me and I'm just gonna learn what they do to be that good. And I would just get motivation from them today, not like to compare and start being worried that I'm not good today because I'm just in the beginner again, So I think that's another good approach. If you actually seen other competitors and they're really good, learn.
Absolutely. I love that insight. And it's interesting because you didn't allow that to be a negative thing for you at your
Mm,
pro shows. You allowed it to be positive fuel for you, knowledge, experience, wisdom. Like you used it for bettering yourself, not for
yes.
belittling.
Yeah, so you just like really hanging out backstage and you seeing how they do stuff, how they got to the pro level and at the pro level they already got so much more experience than I am. It's my first time there. So you just want to see like, okay, what they doing to be that good? Like I want to learn today. So
Mm.
next time I'll be better, prepared, better in everything.
What did you learn at your pro debut?
Pro debut. Well, my pro debut was a little bit I actually had my little kid with me.
Aw,
So I was kind of a little bit distracted.
I'm
So
sure.
I was a little bit distracted and worried. My friend was watching him. I have a son, he's 5 year old now,
Yeah.
and he was 4 at the time. So I even remember um just kind of off topic. I even remember standing on stage already, and my friend gave him like a cartoon to watch, and I'm standing there posing. I'm like, you shouldn't watch a cartoon right now. I'm like, okay, turn off the mom right now. Just come here.
Aw,
So
that's
yes,
amazing.
so there is a lot of yeah. What I learned, what I learned. Um, It's hard to say right now. It was just so overwhelming, of course,
Yeah.
overwhelming being there for the first time. But I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the experience. It was really different. Um, I really liked to be as an IFBB Pro backstage. It was awesome. I would I would definitely do it again.
Oh,
And yeah,
was
I
it
think
better
maybe I
than?
would be better prepared, just better prepared with the makeup and other things, and have some backup plans because I think on my first pro debut, I did not have a good experience with my makeup.
Hmm.
And what I learned, I need to have a spare time in case something goes wrong with your makeup or something, you have time to fix it. So very risky if you have your makeup done and it's like it's time to go on stage, so it's better to book it and have spare time at least 1 hour. I was able to fix whatever I didn't like because I had 1 hour So I was like, oh my God, next
Yeah.
time, if I ever do this, I will have that spare time for
I think
sure.
that's a great lesson learned. Like having the time to get backstage, having the time to get your makeup done, having the time to make sure your tan's fixed. Like if you're getting all this stuff done right before you go on stage, you're running the risk of an accident happening.
Right, but like the thing is, like when you start booking your makeup or hair, you also don't want to do it too early because it's like, okay, it's gonna get ruined. It's so many hours. You know how the
Exactly.
wait is. And it's like, okay, should I do it? And then if you actually booking it very late, there is not that much time available. So, so yes, I also learned to book everything in advance because I did book everything last minute. So it kind of, so that's my
Yeah.
lesson, definitely.
That's a good lesson learned. And you know what? You brought up your son, so I want to talk about this because I imagine and I know for you it was different to compete with a toddler versus before having a toddler. So, what was the competition prep like after 6 years away from the stage and now having a baby as well?
Um, oh my God. Yeah, that's the word. Um, so yes, I had a baby. I had 6 years of break from competing for some reason. I don't know. I wasn't just, in a mood for this or something. I was doing other things. I was focusing on other things, life, then pregnancy. And then when he turned 3, motherhood was, I was thinking I'm an athlete, I'm doing sports, I'm this and that, like it's gonna be so easy for me, but it turned out it was so hard for me. I was like, oh
Hmm.
my goodness, motherhood is no joke. So when he turned 3, I was like, how do I bring myself back? I need to bring myself back. I want to be the bikini girl again. I want to be in this in like I want all of this again. So I decided, the prep. I need to get in prep. Like plus I would like to finish what I started and I need to get my pro card. So I started my prep and my son didn't have a daycare at that time. So pretty much I had to squeeze all my cardio and my workouts by having him all day with me. It was the it was huge challenge. It was very stressful, and I don't know. Somehow I did it. It made me even stronger. I think motherhood makes you stronger,
Mm.
but then you put prep on top.
Oh my
So it was
goodness.
a real challenge, but I was always saying I could do like 3 preps back to back, but motherhood is way harder.
Yeah, I
So
bet.
yeah.
And you said that, you were always an athlete and you were surprised that it was really difficult for you postpartum. So, what was challenging? Was it hard to just get into the gym? Was it hard time-wise? What made it difficult?
I think not having like a team that help you around with the kid. Like since I don't have family here. It was just me and my husband. So let's say if my husband working, my kid is not in the daycare. So it's just the two of us, and it was really hard to leave the baby anywhere. He wouldn't stay with anyone. So you really, if you don't have any help, you're really losing few years of your life, of your hobbies, of your achievements, and that's a kind of big sacrifice. I know a lot of people they make it happen, but it was my first baby, first experience, and now probably I would do it differently. I would take care of my time a little better,
Hmm.
but I really did not expect that it was going to be like this. So I really had trouble of getting to the gym, and I built myself like my garage gym.
Oh,
So it was, it helped a lot. So I had like my garage little workout place, and he was just pretty much raised there with me. And
that's
it
so
helped a
cool.
lot having a little gym at home.
Absolutely. I think that's really awesome. And just getting yourself to prioritize yourself again, it sounds like was what you had to do. You said you would have done things differently, like with your time. How would you have approached it differently now looking back?
I would definitely get help, like on a regular basis. Like, I would never, I had to take a break from the gym and I could really feel effects of it. And even like right now, I'm telling to all my clients, um, especially if you got used to working out, you cannot ever stop. I kind of took it for granted. So I did have a little break from working out. Mm, I could feel the really huge effects on me,
Mm.
really huge. So, and I just started bringing myself back. So right now, if I would ever have another baby, and I would have a babysitter, like, okay, 3 times a week I'm going to the gym, for example. And so
Yeah.
I would just have somebody and it would not get discussed anymore. So it's like I would not want to fall out of my routine ever again. Because
What did you notice when you were out of your routine? Like, what effects did it have on you?
it's just like not being able to get out of the house and just like the feel of freedom where you can go anytime you want when you don't have a kid. I was like, what do you mean I cannot go anywhere anytime I want? Like that's it. I can't leave the house. It was it was huge deal for me. Mm, then yeah, just not being able to get out, having effects on like your mental state, your joints, especially being postpartum, your joints, your muscles, the different hormones in your body just like have you. It's a huge effect on moms for sure after baby.
How did that prep look compared to your pre-baby life? Like, how did your expectations of yourself get challenged, or maybe how did your nutrition and training look in comparison to before you had a child?
Like for example, when I didn't have a child, let's say I could just wake up, I don't know, 5 a.m., go do my cardio, get it done west, look at sunrise, come back home, have my breakfast, go on with the day. When you have a little kid, you cannot just wake up and do your cardio. So you have to take care of the baby first. You cannot leave, or you have to breastfeed or something. And you can't just leave anytime. So you have to squeeze it in a time of the day, and sometimes you will get those windows, but you're not really feeling like working out right now, but this is the only window you have and you have to do it in that window. So it's kind of sometimes it goes off rhythms of your body, but you have no other choice. So that was another big challenge.
Hmm.
Like, I don't want to work out right now. I wish I could do it in the morning, but no, you have only this window. That's it. Take
Wow.
it or leave it. That was
Did
the
you
challenge
ever
for me.
like miss some of those windows, like where you couldn't actually follow through because maybe something came up with your baby?
Yes, of course. When you have a little kid, you never know. You never know. Of course, you would miss something. Yeah, and um, it's just extra stress.
Hmm.
Prep can be stressful. It's like it's such a mental game. So like when you have a kid on top of it and you have to take care of the kid, it's just it's just an additional stress to your body. And
I could not miss the opportunity to invite listeners to something really, really incredible that I'll be doing, and I am so excited about it. I am hosting an intimate all-female retreat in Greenville, South Carolina from August 1st to the 4th, and there are only 3 spots left by the time you hear this. There may be less. So act on this now if you're looking for a chance to connect, grow, and recharge with like-minded women who share your love for bodybuilding and fitness, which is exactly why I am coming to you on this podcast to announce it and let you know that there are some spots open still. And if you want to spend a weekend with an incredible group of women, all about community, mindset, and movement, we're going to be diving into mental health in a way that applies directly to your fitness journey. enjoying the gym and coffee dates with women who really get you, and experience a private chef prepared meal that's going to satisfy what you need for your current nutrition goals, and explore the beauty of nature with hikes and a downtown picnic, and just enjoying the incredible scenery of where I live. It is beautiful here, and I want to have you guys. Plus, I've got some surprises up my sleeve that you won't want to miss. If you come, you will also have access to a pool, pickleball courts, bocce ball, everything you need for a seamless stay, because you'll be at my house and you'll have access to everything you need, like a fridge and microwave and stove. When we had some meetups last year, it was awesome, like so fun, which is why I decided to do another one this year, this August, and provide it in such a way where you have all your needs met so you can just focus on showing up for yourself inside and out, and making the absolute most of your time there without it feeling like you're going to have to sacrifice any of your goals. Instead, we're going to be capitalizing on our time to get you even closer to the achievement of those goals. So if this sounds like exactly what you need, connecting with other like-minded women, forming lasting friendships, and of course, spending some much needed time on your mental health, as well as still getting in everything you need for your goals, message me for details at celeste@celestial.fit or celestial_fit on Instagram. So again, that's an email, celeste@celestial.fit, or you can DM me on Instagram at celestial_fit. Before the last spots fill up, I recommend messaging me ASAP, because I cannot wait to see you there and have you. It will be incredible. If you have any questions at all, of course, feel free to reach out when you inquire. When you had been competing from, you did 2014, 2016, 2017, and then you had that time off after 2017, and then you had your baby. Did you know you were going to be away from the stage, or did you always have the intention to come back to the stage?
I I actually didn't think, I didn't plan anything, and I had no idea. I actually wasn't even, there was like some period of time when I just kind of like, that life was far away from me. And then when I wanted to bring myself back, and when I remembered what I really am, I was like, no, I need to bring her back. So it just kind of came back to me, and I started remembering what I really like
Oh,
and what I love doing. So I did not plan um, to come back, but it just came back to me.
it's interesting how sometimes we go through series of abandoning ourselves in our life, and then we realize that we realize who we really are, because we recognize it as abandonment versus as like growth or a change. Instead, it becomes like, huh, that was a part of me that I actually didn't want to let go of. And it took me letting go of
Mhm.
her to come
And
back.
you know when it happens, when you chasing that pro card, for example, like
Uh-huh.
you have a one try, second try, and oh, okay, and then you just kind of like put it in the closet. Okay, not this time, and then like you don't know which time again you're gonna do it.
Uh-huh.
Because I know some competitors, they really determined they would never skip nationals, right? So for me, it was like, okay, I'll try this show, and then of course you're trying to achieve that goal, right? Then you try another one. Okay, didn't happen. Okay, I still need to grow my glutes, like the usual story, you know.
Mhm.
And like, okay, I shouldn't probably try next year because I still need to grow my glutes more. It's gonna take time, and you just kind of put it away from you, you know, because there's other things starts happening, and then there's baby, so I just kind of put it away for a long time. But then I was like, no, let me finish what I started actually.
Mm.
And it was the best feeling when I got my pro card after my kid. My kid was with me at the show that day holding my
Oh.
pro card. It was the best
That makes me
feeling.
want to cry.
hmm And oh my God, he was in the hotel room. He was a pure distraction. I could not even put myself together because he was at that age. He's just like all
Yeah,
over the
4 years
place, like
old.
4 years. I'm just so irritated, and I'm like, ah. And then we got the pro card. My mom came and she helped me to take care of
Mm.
him. And it was such a good feeling when you finish what you started, when it's just
Wow.
you closed it. I'm like, okay, we got it. That's it. Next.
Yeah,
The
that
best feeling.
chapter's done and you can like move forward knowing you closed it, you went forward and you did it. And maybe, I honestly believe that was like God's plan is you were supposed to win your pro card with your son there.
Probably. And I think it was the perfect timing because I matured a little more. It was different. And also I got my pro card being Masters 35 plus. So I think it gave me better opportunity because before that I couldn't do Masters. So just being in the Masters gave me better opportunity to reach this goal faster, I think.
Well, and I think your physique like speaks for itself too. Looking at your physique, it's like, holy moly, you've got this incredible muscle and density,
Thank
and you can
you.
tell you've worked really hard, and I'm incredibly impressed by the muscle mass that you've put on since you started your journey. Like looking at the differences in photos, you always had a really great base, but just that difference. So what did you do like pre-pregnancy, during pregnancy, and then after to really incur that type of growth?
I think the time has a lot to do with that because it's been years. Because a lot of people just starting up and they look at you like, oh my God, how do I achieve that? But yeah, I really like been lifting for like over 10 years, like competing over 10 years. So pretty much my training and my nutrition based like as a competitor, bikini competitor
Mhm.
for over this time.
Yeah,
So it's the time. And
100%.
yes, time and maturity of your muscle, right? Like as you growing older, it's different rather than you just beginning right now, being younger. So that I think it helped a lot of reaching that goal
Absolutely.
too.
That's a great point. Like you just had more time and therefore more density, more pop, more everything. And in going back to the discussion we had about having a child too, like is there anything you wish you would have known about having a child before you did?
Mm. I was always getting on everybody who already had kids. I was like, why you never talk like you never said anything. Why nobody talks about it? I'm like I was the only
Uh-huh.
one who was speaking up that it is hard. And now people talk more about it. But when I had my kids, like I'm like nobody ever said anything. Nobody ever mentioned that it was gonna be so
Oh.
hard. Like what? Why didn't you tell me to be better prepared? So that was yes.
You wanted to be maybe more prepared for the difficulty. Is that what you're saying?
No, I just I just thought of me that I'm really good with kids. Kids love me. I'm just like it's gonna be so easy for me because I'm like so good. Like I work with other kids. But when it comes to your own kid, it's a whole different story, and all moms they know that it's a known fact. When it comes to your own kid, it's your own challenge, and it's the biggest challenge of your life.
Wow. That's it's I'm asking a lot of these questions selfishly to be honest with you because after
Yes.
this season I'm like I want to make babies. I want to have a and every mom I've spoken to um has been very honest about like it's incredibly challenging and it's unexpectedly challenging. I imagine a lot of that has to do with the amount of love and pureness that comes with having a child and um, something I've been curious about for you is how have you seen your fitness lifestyle and him really growing up around you committing to this goal and this lifestyle? How have you seen that actually influence him?
Oh, it's a huge influence, huge. So he's been going to competitions with me. He's been seeing the medals, the trophies. So like he's already having that mindset, like he wants to achieve something. He wants to be strong. Actually, I was teaching the other day. I was invited to the daycare group, and there was one dad. He's also like gym goer. He lifts
Uh-huh.
weights, and I was invited as a fit mom, and we were
Oh,
teaching the kids. So you could tell those kids who don't have a parents that lift weights,
yeah.
it's more challenging for them. But rather than those two kids that grew up pretty much at the gym seeing parents lifting, it's a whole different story. It's a big influence. Like they just the form already is good. There's a little
Yes.
muscles already there. So cute. And just I think just being in that environment already sets a good example for the future. It's just gonna be normal thing. It's not like you're gonna start like other people these days started when they 30, 40. So these kids, they're gonna be already in that environment from they're already there. So it's gonna be
100%.
so normal, natural. Um, I think it's amazing impact
I think
having
that's so cool.
yes.
How do you talk to him about nutrition?
Oh, that yeah, it's very funny. He likes these talks, and he always talks about the junk food. And if
Oh,
his little friends like eating junk food, he would teach them no more junk food. It's not good for you. You should do you should eat normal food. And like yeah, so I see it. Yeah,
oh,
I mean we're not perfect, of course,
of
but
course. Yeah. That wouldn't be great.
but
I think being perfect or striving for perfection
no,
would be highly limiting. So I think that's great that you're
yeah,
not perfect.
yes.
Well, I think it's really cool that you've had such a amazing influence on him. And obviously, it's not just your child, it's not just your motherhood, but you are an incredible person. Like I said when I introduced you, a multifaceted athlete. And I would love to hear how you manage your like your actual physical energy when you're doing things like dancing at festivals, you're competing, you're coaching, you're kickboxing. How do you navigate like actual energy?
Well, I'm a former dancer, so that's my
Okay.
background. So I haven't done like I'm not doing that anymore. So my like from dancing days, I transitioned to being a like a group fitness instructor first and
Very cool.
personal trainer and stuff like this. But yeah, you just I just like when you're working for yourself as a personal trainer, posing coach, you can build your own schedule so you can squeeze your kickboxing practice and other things. And I do like to do other practices, something different for your brain and for your body rather than just bodybuilding. So it's just, yes, plus I think it's very good for you to do something else on the side.
Very cool.
So
I think that's so awesome. Like, it's a form of cross training, really, for your body and for your mind. Kickboxing is no joke. So doing that year round, I imagine like your cardio. Do you even have to do that much cardio in prep when you're already so conditioned?
Well, I actually, my last prep, my coach even told me, okay, no more kickboxing. I'm like, okay, because I was still like trying to go for my practices, and it was really challenging. I had to do my cardio, like the crazy cardio, the training,
Uh-huh.
and I did not want to miss my kickboxing practice. So it was just extra, always extra. I was tired. So then at some point we kind of stopped the kickboxing thing, and then I came back again. Yeah.
Oh, I bet. And like when you consider how much demand is in a competition prep, I know like when I was a personal trainer, and I was in competition prep and training other people, and I would lead classes and group classes. Sometimes it was just exhausting, you
Yes.
know?
It's extra work. I used to teach classes while I was in prep. I'm like, oh. Being
Yeah.
hungry all the time. Yeah. I
You're like,
remember
oh,
those
I'm
days.
moving more and I've got to move all this equipment and set it up. It's a lot.
hmm But actually, one of the speaking of also other things, I used to dance at the Ultra Music Festival, and one of the festivals came out post competition, and I was at my absolute best competition shape, Ultra Music
That would
Festival.
be fun.
Oh my God. And there's like normal people there, like normal, and you came from the competition prep shape. You came like from a different planet.
Yeah, no,
You-
literally though. And you're able to like, you were probably so endurance, like your conditioning and endurance was so
The
high. You were just,
conditioning was crazy, and just like post competition. So you show up on stage and dance, and it was one of the best experiences, of course.
that's so cool. And like,
Mm.
honestly, I can imagine it being gratifying to know that you could go through a whole competition prep and then still show up and dance at the festival and
Well,
rock it.
yes, it was amazing experience. I will always cherish that experience, and
Oh,
it was big part of my life. Yes,
do you miss it?
I missed it. Yes, I. It's just yeah, I'm on a different life chapter right now, but I really enjoyed those dancing days, and it gave me like really good background at the stage performance. I danced like many clubs in Miami. Just name any club in Miami. I've danced all of them.
Wow.
And the Ultra Music Festival, it's a huge stage. There's so many people. I don't know, thousands of people. So that experience being like exposed to the huge crowd when you really feel like so little on stage and you have to be exposed to that huge crowd, it's incredible experience. So when I'm teaching my girls right now, when we do posing, I always teach them like you have to do extra because when you're on stage, you're performing,
Mm.
and to be seen, you have to do a little bit extra. You cannot do less because it's stage. You know how like in the room you look like you have, oh my God, like crazy amount of makeup on you. But once you go
Exactly.
on stage, it doesn't look that much.
Exactly.
It doesn't look that much. It looks just like, okay, she has a little bit of makeup. Same thing with the performance, um, that stage presence. So it has to be always that extra, because on stage it looks just normal, but you
Hmm.
actually doing so much extra. So that's one of another tips that I always give to my competitors.
That's a
We
really
learn
great
to
tip.
perform. We learn to perform.
Absolutely. So, give us an example of what extra on stage might look like. So, you've got someone who comes to you for posing and you notice like that's good, but to be great on stage and to really shine, this is what's needed. Like, what would that
Mhm.
be?
What would it be? What you I usually see, it could be like a beautiful competitor, but moves could be just kind of closed up, and it's just like she just closing herself, like so just be inside, like hiding, more like hiding yourself, like
Oh.
hiding your beauty. So on stage, we wanna put yourself out there. We wanna open up more. We wanna have like more movement, like just being a little extra. If you tend to do being just a little more shy, and so you just actually wanna come out of that shell and show off, and it's gonna look just right on stage. I promise you.
Mhm.
So, but for you, it might seem like too much in the moment, but on stage, it's gonna be right there,
Love
you
that.
know.
Yeah, you can see it too when you're in the crowd. Like I've attended many competitions too, just as a fan. And when you see someone step on stage, when you see everybody step on stage, sometimes your eye just goes to somebody. And I notice that difference is like that person they are radiant on stage. They are open. You almost feel like they're wanting to connect with the audience, whereas there's others you feel like they don't want to be seen.
yeah, you have to use the space, take the space on when you're on stage. You cannot like this is the stage. You're there for a reason. Like people watching you, they need to see you. So this is why you're there. You just need to realize that. Like you cannot just like it's not like you just walk in the audience somewhere like trying to like hide. This is the stage, so you have to take that space. Plus, you worked so hard. You want to show those muscles, and you want to show it so everybody can see your work, and you competing. So you have to put yourself out there, like with your presence. So
Yes.
yeah.
When someone is working with you, you're their coach for posing, I think a lot of that is also mental, right? Like there's this psychological component of actually being able to take up space on stage, to be able to shine in that way, to be seen in that way. Do you have certain things you encourage the women you work with to maybe practice, like while they're practicing their posing, to help them exude that?
hmm So usually, I would like always ask my competitors, like what's on the mind, like what are we afraid of, like because everybody have different things. Like, there's some could be, oh, I'm afraid not to be ready on time, or there's
Mm.
other one like, oh, I'm afraid that I might like, I don't know, like my glutes are not there yet, or like I'm afraid that I'm not getting posing. Like so everybody will have a different thing going on in the head, so I would always ask, and we work with that like through the conversation. We will find the cause first, like what makes you worry, because uh if there's something on your mind and you worry about something, it's going to be showing on your body. So we have to kind of make your mental state free of that worry, whatever you worry about, and it's going to show on your presentation a lot.
It's great.
And it's really just like bringing, like in women, it's bringing that fire within, like because a lot of like it's especially for the first time competitors, they it's scary, and I always remind them like you're not the only one who is going to be there for the first time. They all worried, but you need to kind of act. So it's a stage is a good place to be an actress that day. You can act. You can really take a different, like who you want to be today. You want to be a queen, you can act like one. You want to be like take a role as a bikini pro. Like how would bikini pro walk on stage right now? What if you just won a pro card? How would you walk on stage? So I will always like bring a different examples, and it changes absolutely everything. And I also give this like let's say I had one client, and she would be so scared to walk and just do the posing, and I'm like, okay, what do you do for living? She's like, I'm a doctor, I work in a huge hospital, I'm doing this and that. I'm like, you probably walk into the hospital like a boss lady because you know
Mm.
everything what you're doing up there. She's like, yes, that's I just walk there and I know things. And it's just different story in her presence. I'm like,
100%.
okay, same here. So who you really are, remember, and just give me that vibe when you're walking on stage right now.
Mm.
So, and it would change her whole presentation. She would be like, oh, I am actually the boss woman. And she would kill
Yes.
her presentation. I'm like, there you go. There you go.
Love
So
it.
there's different approaches for everybody that we find through the conversation.
Absolutely love that. I think that's such, you can feel it even when you're saying it here on the podcast. Like you can feel that shift, you can feel that energy, that consideration for you. If you're not comfortable being you up there, how can you channel some other version of you, some other version of you that exists in a different
Hmm.
time or space? And I
Hmm.
think that's a really great tip because then you
Yeah.
embody that energy.
And it's still part of you. It's not like you becoming a different person. That's part of you. It's there. but you just, you know, you can
Bringing it out.
bring it out, right? And this is your chance because on stage, you can act that day. And yeah,
Yeah, and you know
I
what?
love that.
Like, I think it's important to consider how do I want to feel when I walk off stage? Like, how do I want to feel when the curtains are closed? I go backstage, I just got off. Like, do I want to look back and go, wow, like, I really rocked it up there. I felt confident. I exuded who I am. I exuded that fire. Or do you want to go backstage and be
Hmm.
like, oh, I wish I just would have, just that little
Yes.
extra.
That's why I always say to actually not to have that regret. I always say take it that this is the only chance you have. Like even like a person competes, like let's say novice, debut, whatever they
Mhm.
have there right now, like open, masters, like they can
Right.
take few times on stage. I'm like, you have to walk in from the first time, like this is your only chance because
Mm.
you really start thinking like that's my only chance. This is it. There's because sometimes they would go first round being scared, and on the last one they're like, oh, I'm finally there. Like
So true.
when they do an open, but no, you start your first entrance like it's your last chance. This is it. The only chance you have. Use it to the fullest.
And
Yeah.
honestly, sometimes it really is your only chance because a lot of shows and
Hmm.
promoters these days, if you've already done your full routine once, they're probably going to
Exactly.
tell you they're either going to tell you go out and hit a front pose, or they're going to tell you just walk out for comparisons.
Yes, yes, perfect. Yes, you got it. Yes, you got it on point. That's really this is your only chance, and that's it
Yeah,
to be
so I
seen.
think that's such a good point because if you're lucky, they might let you do your full routine. But even a lot of times, like I've gone to shows where it's finals and they're like, no one's doing their routine. Like at my most recent show, it was like,
Hmm.
okay, we're moving on to awards. Like some
Yes,
people got to do full routines, but most didn't. It was just like, we
yeah,
already know who won. You're gonna walk out and we're gonna line you guys up and we're gonna start calling awards. And you don't want to miss your moment.
yes, yes. And especially that's a huge reminder. You don't want to miss your moment. You want to stay as much as present in that moment on
Mhm.
stage because it goes so fast. If you're not present in the moment on stage, if you're not feeling it, you'll be like you're gonna walk out and you'll be like, oh, this is it. Yes, this is
Yes.
it.
Literally, it's done.
It's really like this, like, oh, you were prepping for so long, waiting forever backstage, and then they go so fast. If you Because when you're present in that moment, you stretch in the time.
Yep.
You really stretch in the time, like it's longer, and you get to feel it more. Because if you're not, it really like you walk out like this is it, like you don't even remember you what just happened. What just happened.
Exactly.
Okay, that was it. That was your chance. That was it. That
That's
was
right.
your moment. That was your
That's
moment.
right.
Yes.
You blink and it's done. And then like like that feeling when everybody's waiting for finals backstage, like everyone's like on one hand they're really excited to get up there again. On the other hand, they're like, can we get out of the venue? Can we get out of this tan? Can we go take a shower?
Uh-huh.
Because
You just want to take it all off
yeah,
and then this is it. Okay, you should have just enjoyed that time.
Exactly. By then, like your hair is maybe like a little flatter, or people are trying to touch it up, all the outlets are not working. So,
Yes,
make the most of it. This is stuff too, like we don't talk about it much on the podcast, so I'm really glad this is naturally coming out because I think there's probably a lot of competitors who are first time competitors or they haven't been on stage in a long time and you need to be prepared for show day and these are some of those things you don't expect.
yes, yes, that's so true. And it's sometimes the show day itself might be really unpleasant because there's a lot of weight. You just want to be on stage, but the key. I think that's what the Bikini Pro teaching us. They already know the deal, and they do really
Hmm.
enjoy the time on backstage because they now know this is the show day thing, you know.
Right.
And you gotta enjoy it, not to wait till it's over, because once it's over, that's over.
It's done. Yeah. And then you got to wait. And that could be
Yeah.
months. And depending on your feedback, you could be told, hey, take a year, take two, or maybe your life changes. And you're like, shoot,
And
okay.
you never know, maybe there is a baby on the way or something. So always take it. This is the only chance.
I love that. You know what, too? Like when you go, like right now, I'm in a season where I'm like, I'm probably done after this. And that's like, it's weird in some way because I'm going in with a different mentality. Like, well, this is it. I want to like enjoy it. I want to enjoy my la last season. I mean, I'm not saying
Hmm.
it's forever. You never say
Hmm.
never, but it's changed the mentality. And I'm like, dang, I wonder what it would have been like if I had this thought in the past too, like if this was the last time
Hmm.
or this could be. So I think that's such an
Right.
important point. And now for you, I mean, you've come back. Not only did you come back, but you've done so well as a pro. So what are you focused on as a competitor? What are your goals now for your pro career?
That's a good question. Like right now, this year, I'm really focusing on my work and clients. Uh, just kind of been working on that. Like I think me coming back post baby, getting the pro card, now getting on the pro stage. Now I'm just focusing more on work. Maybe next year I can focus more on some other, while I'm building more glutes, of course, like focusing on work as I'm building more glutes for the pro
I
stage.
gotcha.
You know, that's what we do, right?
Oh yeah.
There's never ending story. Never ending story in the bikini world.
Exactly. Everybody's feedback
So
for glutes.
so yeah, right now I'm really like this whole year I'm really focusing on sharing my experience with the other girls and teaching them what I already know, uh, teaching them how to perform on stage, um, getting them in shape, and I really enjoy it right now. I I think it's perfect right now, like being like post two pro shows and just focusing on these things, like sharing your
Oh
experience.
yeah.
It's that's my thing for right now, yes. And then we will see. Usually how it happens with me, I don't plan that far, but then one day it's like, oh, okay, I'm doing the show. And that's
It
it. So
comes to you.
it was just come to me. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
love
do
that.
it. That's
You're
it.
like,
And
I'm
then
ready
I'll
now.
just
Yeah,
so yeah.
that's
So it's just
awesome
kind of going with the flow as well.
for sure.
Sense in the flow.
That's right. So, I mean, we've talked about so many amazing things, and your tips for posing have been incredible. So, I want to hear your best advice in general. Like, what's your best advice for someone who's never competed before but wants to? And then your best advice for someone who's on their road to pro.
Okay, best advice for those who just, trying to compete or like on the trying to get on the journey. Um, I would say like when you start the prep, I would say this. If you start the prep, I would suggest you focus on what's ahead for today. Just on the get things done for today. It will give you like I learned this in my last preps, just to focus on what's this day, like on my daily tasks for today, like as of my meals for today, my cardio for today. It brought me like the best actual results when I was just focusing on day by day thing, rather than when I'm looking at the whole week, I'll be like, oh,
Yes.
getting overwhelmed because prep is so overwhelming. And then I was just able, especially when you have another job and a kid and this and that, there's so much you can really overwhelm yourself. So if you focus on just daily tasks and just get it done out of the way, get it done out of the way, it
Mhm.
gives you like a really good feeling when you go to sleep at night. okay, for today, I got everything done. Next.
Love that.
So that's, yeah, one of the
Really love it.
things I learned
That's such good advice. And what about for someone on their road to pro?
on the road to pro. Just learn from the pros, like what are they doing to be the best. And when I was getting ready for the, for the pro stage,
Yeah.
or even like for the pro card, right?
Yeah.
I would be just knowing that I have to do already everything like a pro. And that's probably the key to this. Do not treat yourself as an amateur right now.
Mm.
Just become pro at everything what you do. Like train like a pro. Workout, do cardio like a pro, meal prep like a pro, like time management like a pro, like do everything like a pro, and then you will get that pro card.
What I love is that the advice you're giving is so aligned with each other. Whether you're new or you're really chasing that pro card, it's execute every single day to the best you can and lay your head down knowing that you did. I think that's incredible advice. And of course, I would love for everybody to be able to connect with you, work with you, follow your journey. So how can everybody do that?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's Olesya_Sun, SUN. I'll be happy to see you guys there. And if you ever need help with posing, even if you have your posing coaches, you can like or your routine ready, we can always work with your presence and just add some details and more confidence. And especially me having dancing background, we always work with that flow, which is everybody always asking like, how do I get that flow? How do I work with my arms? So that's what I do. Like I would teach you how to add a little bit more details to your routine or even existing routine, um, to make it look better. And yes, I'll be glad to help you.
Amazing. Well, we'll put that in the show notes page. You guys, that's always on celestial.fit/podcast. If you're listening right away, it'll be at the top of the page. If you're listening in the future, scroll down to the category section where it's alphabetized. Not only will you see how to connect with us, but you're also going to see a full summary of this episode, a bulleted list of the topics we covered, and episode timestamps so you can go back, listen to your favorite parts, or of course, share it with your friends, your family, your teammates. Let them know what resonated with you and tag us after you listen. Post on your story or reach out. It goes such a long way for the show, but even further for the athletes for sharing their incredible journey, being vulnerable, being honest, and helping us in our journey. And who knows, you could be listening and one day you could be sharing your story here. So, giving that love goes so far for all of us in this community. It means a lot. And Alesya, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm glad. You're so welcome. And to everybody listening, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, night, or morning, wherever you are in the world while you're listening to this episode. Just make it awesome.
Thank you.